So
Yeah.
like just
Hi.
packing.
Hello.
Sorry, I'm
Hello.
running a little late.
No, you're fine. I just clicked the go live button. Probably I'm streaming
Oh,
my
okay.
audio right now. It's fine.
Well, I was playing Baptiste and I've
they didn't get to hear all of our amazing banter beforehand.
Hello?
Exactly.
Hello? I don't know if you can hear me yet. I did
Here, I'll turn up the
unmute
volume.
us. Yeah, someone someone tell us in the chat if you can hear me.
Oh, I can hear it.
Okay, good. Hi everybody. Sorry, I'm still getting the hang of all of this streaming stuff from my computer because I don't do that very much. So, welcome. I am so happy to see you all tuned in and of course to have my wonderful players gathered round the virtual table once again. Just to kick us off, reminder that you can tune in on, I don't know, actually, I didn't ask Galway ahead of time. So,
Wednesday.
so we're not playing.
Friday is tier.
Okay. So tomorrow there is a game of tier?
Yes.
Okay, hey, tomorrow tune in for Tier Beyond the Door.
Yep.
At 7 Mountain Time. And Saturday, are we doing? Nope, don't tune in on
Wednesday.
Saturday.
Wednesday is Dom and Dragons.
Next Wednesday is the
No more
6th
Saturday.
session of Dom and Dragons.
All right, hey, at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, right?
9 p.m. Eastern Time.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
Together we know things like a whole person.
Very good. Okay, yes. And other than that, do we have any other helpful goats, gaming related announcements? I'm not sure that we do. But hey, thanks, helpful goat, for having my frantic self trying to promote your content. Okay, so I was telling.
Thanks for subscribing.
Yeah,
Bitter
hey.
Ash. I'm doing Galway's job here. Sorry.
Yeah, if you subscribe or follow, you're cool and we like you. Please consider using your Twitch Prime subscriptions. I sound like a real streamer now. All right.
Smash that like button, people.
Smash it. All right. So one thing that I do as a GM is I have my players do a recap of the previous session. So the first couple minutes is going to be them struggling to put their notes together across 5 people and see what all we can remember from the last session. I might fill in some pertinent details and I might not. That's part of the fun for me, is kind of seeing what you all remember and what might come as a surprise to you. But there are sometimes details that I need to fill you in on to make sure that like nobody is like forgot something that your character obviously wouldn't. We also have one mysterious housekeeping thing to do. This is relevant to LV. Let's roll a die. Okay, I need to double check, but I think that we are not doing anything with that today. Okay, so why don't you guys start the recap while I look up what this 4 means, and yes, go ahead, start.
Okay, so
Moisture.
Moisture, yes, moisture played a crucial role. So y'all live together in an apartment that is being condemned. What is it called? It's being like destroyed because demolished. Thank you. We have in our inventory, we should be able to read an eviction notice and a construction notice. Lord Farquaad of the Falling Snow on Embers or something.
Or Faisal, depending on how you look at it.
Either way, right?
Yeah, Lord Faisal the Snowflake.
Wants to give bread to everyone in order to make them feel better about the fact that they're like, fuck you, get out of your apartment thing. Oh, and there's going to be a lottery to see who can move back in. And
they're saying they need to destroy it because it's unsafe, and your other egg tender, whose name I don't have because I don't have my notes open right now,
Marguerite, yes,
is hiding some shit, and didn't let the inspectors come, and so they said that it was condemned because it's completely unsafe. And I found my notes. Sorry.
What was my voice like?
Like a strange mixture of French and
Russian, maybe.
Yeah, French and Russian.
You
were French and Russian.
Oh Lord, the whole
So there was the words Ulrich and one of the others went to go talk with Mama Luke.
Oh, that was me.
About-
That was Kelby.
Thank you. Sorry.
No problem.
Ulrich and Kelvy went to go talk to Mama Luke about what her son did during his
His
Durance.
durance, and we found out some interesting things, and we're going to investigate that. So you'll hear more about that as we investigate. And there was a creepy human man named Nezadeh. No, a human person.
Yes.
They're they them.
Yes.
Named Nezadeh. And we were also going to go and speak with them because for some reason they liked Grizzled Old Man with a hyena.
They run Harmonious Properties.
They are the lead designer on this particular Harmonious Properties project.
And then
And
I also
then-
have in my notes, other guy, Amandu Mama Looks.
Yes, so Amandu is the name of Mama Luke's son, and
okay.
and it's important to note that it doesn't make sense that Lord Faisal would be interested in apartment complexes because his basically his whole durance opportunity that he runs is all about basically conscripting the Drow for what appears like might be militaristic sort of purposes because Amandu is ripped.
Ripped. Got it. Super ripped. Oh,
Mhm.
and also we talked to Marguerite, and she intends to follow up with her contacts regarding what can be done about Nezadeh and Lord Farquaad.
And we got a mysterious note in our apartment from the ministry telling us that we should do something about this.
Some good note taking right there.
Yeah, we gotta
also
stop.
decided towards the end of our last session that we were gonna split the party, and which in fairness doesn't really feel like a bad idea right now because we're in information gathering phase. You gotta divide up the party like in Scooby Doo, right?
Yeah,
People can
gather
still
the evidence.
die on the information gathering phase. That's happened.
True,
Bad
but I know that right now my MO is that I'm going to visit my the person that I studied under for my durance.
And somebody's
Mr.
going with you.
Inglori.
I'm
And
going to visit Amandu at some point, I think.
Okay,
is,
so
is someone going with me for that? I don't remember.
I was
before
gonna go with someone.
before you all decide who's going where, I do want to touch on the one thing I mentioned this in the Discord, but I want to say it for everyone to hear. I want to retroactively say that Neza, who invited Barnabas to come visit them at Harmonious Properties headquarters, would have said tomorrow, with the intention Neza is not going to be back in the office today, and I don't want you all to waste an entire session getting up Spire and then me being so it turns out Neza's not home, and so I think Neza would have known that their schedule was full for the day, with other site visits and things like that, and would have told Barnabas in the moment to come the next day. So but notably only about an hour or two of game time has passed, because realistically, it was pretty early in the morning when the crowd gathered about the eviction notice, and everybody kind of went their own ways and did their own thing for an hour or two and then reconvened. So not that much time has passed since the eviction notice was discovered, and you do have the rest of this day kind of ahead of you if you want to do any of the other things, but Neza will have to be in the next day for the visit.
I'm glad you cleared that up because time does seem to be a blur when you're hanging out with Mama.
Yeah, not to mention in Derelictus, there's really no it's just perpetual twilight essentially because it's underground, and there is no attempt to filter sunlight down there because the Drow are burned by sunlight. So time is very strange in Derelictus to begin with, but Neza, who works much further up Spire in the gardens, does follow kind of normal time So that will be significant.
Too long didn't read version of that is we're all just extreme edgelords.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I have
Sounds
a
right.
thing that might come into play that I think you should know about.
Hmm.
So I have this thing that says Protector's Eye, which says that oh wait, not Protector's Eye, where is it? Oh yeah, okay, here it is. Once per session, when an ally takes fallout, I can appear nearby as long as it would be even slightly feasible for me to do so.
That's cool.
That is awesome.
So
And then
Yeah. Damn.
by appearing nearby, you take stress instead of your
Um,
ally, right?
yeah, it says they ignore the effects of the fallout and you take d6 stress to an appropriate resistance instead.
Wow.
Nice.
So I just I know we're separating the party, but I just wanted to keep that in mind.
Yeah, so I mean, within feasible, you could be
Feasibility.
there. Like, I would take you're in the same building, but if they're like in the gardens and you're like in Derelictus, there's just, I mean, that's like a
I have
full
a clone.
You mean we can't just like reach
teleport.
and
Yeah.
talk to our phones, our stones of far speech, and be like, "Hey, Minray."
Yeah, and then yeah, even if you could, then she would have to find her way from Derelictus up to the Garden District. So I'm gonna go with no.
All the spiders coalesce into me. I'm just a
Okay.
group of spiders.
So you're also a therapist.
Yeah. And I can vomit stress. I'm the best therapist.
Okay, so everybody was gathered in the living room. You had just gotten, Hennis had pointed out the note, and you all had discussed next steps you might want to take. So we can pick up there, and if y'all want to just kind of like time skip forward to the next day, if no one has anything they want to do like that evening, we can just kind of have each person narrate short amount like what they would do in a normal quote unquote day, and then pick up with the next morning, or we can do whatever. So let's get some music going, and it's all you.
I could just say I could just time jump for myself, I guess. That I feel like Barnabas would do his what he feels regular duties, and he would just go around the building and other parts of Derelictus and just check in on the low society people, make food for them, and just generally make sure that they're okay and well taken care of, and kind of check in with people on how they're doing with the whole notice and reassure them that he's going to do everything in his power to stop that shit.
Here's a
Okay.
question. How does Barnabas feel about donating blood?
Barnabas feels that blood is very special. And
Can I have some?
he would have to talk with his god. He would have to
Okay.
commune with Charnel in some way and make sure. And it's probably something he's done in the past because I'm sure you've asked him about it before.
Oh yeah.
And Elise, I don't know as much about Charnel as a player. Do you know if because I mean, not that like everything needs to be for him, but I know he's all about you know, corpses and eating the body and stuff like that. Would that be anything weird if I were to donate blood or something?
No, I don't think that would be like against Barnabas's or Charnel like religion. One of the kind of notable things is as a carrion priest, you're probably another duty that you're kind of doing in Derelictus is helping like families who have people who have died like take care of the body, and by this I literally do mean Sweet Pea would eat them, but like that's a fairly normal practice, weird as it sounds, in Derelictus, because the alternative by a lot of people's like kind of superstitions and religion would be for the bodies to not be tended and then turn into ghosts, which would then haunt the family, which people don't want. And so a lot of people are probably generally happy to have you help them dispose of bodies of just people who have died of natural or
So I
unnatural means.
probably bring a lot of the bodies to the eggs, like to the egg tenders and stuff, and let them be like bloodlet for the clutch, and then Sweet Pea devours them.
For the clutch.
And then I also do, yeah, for the clutch. I also do my old man
Drink.
duty giving blood. Like, I'm
Mhm.
sure you give me cookies made out of human flesh or something, and then I go and I give blood occasionally for the clutch. I'm an all around, like, super helpful old grandpa who just occasionally tears people apart and eats them.
I'm here for it. I like
Right.
it.
For those that have beverages, now is the time to drink.
Yay! That includes me, right?
Yeah, go for
With
it.
your lukewarm beer.
In your mama
Your
lukewarm.
Hey!
Speaking of Mama Luke and stuff,
Mhm.
I think what Ulrich would be doing would basically be making his rounds, which happen to serve two purposes. One, obviously, he's able to help the people that need Malak, to
Mhm.
relax and go to bed or have a good time, whatever their purpose. I serve it. Um, but also the simultaneous thing there is that it affords Ulrich the opportunity to information gather.
Mhm.
Um, so I don't know if you already have anything in mind for that, Elise, but I know that we had mentioned that Mama Luke was going to put a few drops of Malak in with
Amandu's dinner.
Amandu's dinner. So perhaps after dinner time, I might capitalize on my bedside manner
Mhm.
ability, which is when I heal someone, I gain a bond with them until the next day. So maybe I might be able to finagle some more info from Amandu.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, I think if the goal is for Amandu to sleep better and that sleep would be the kind of healing effect for him, then like the next day you would be able to talk to him, but it wouldn't be until after he slept, right? Because that's the kind of narrative point. Do you see my reasoning there?
Sure. Yeah.
So like in the morning, should he sleep well and feel better, that healing of having slept well due to your kind of intervention is what makes him warm up to you.
Right. Okay. Yep. That tracks with me.
Cool. Okay. But you could go like check in with Mama Luke's or, whatever tonight and just kind of see like how it's going or if there's anything, if you wanted to. It's up to you.
I think like if I've already like kind of crossed off my check boxes with the Luke family, then
Mm-hmm.
then maybe I'm going elsewhere.
Okay. Cool. What would other people be up to?
Me. Okay. So, um, I think I would definitely go collect blood and maybe help Barnabas with their body collection and disposal and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We're a real great
And
duo.
yeah,
Or trio, I guess.
trio. Sweet Pea is equal footing with us. Um, and then I think I would probably go see if Marguerite needs me to run any errands, if I need to maybe get like a bucket of water for the moisture, or if I need to like sing some sweet lullabies to the eggs while I vomit some black tar stress, whatever needs to be done. I
Just like
am
mom
here
used to
for
do.
it. Just like mom used to make, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you check in with Marguerite, kind of normal day for you to go and help out with the clutch for the clutch.
Yeah.
And your compatriot Breeza is there in the evening as well. Breeza being another midwife who works nearby, not in the same building, but not too far. And having heard about the eviction notice through the grapevine, as people do, she comes by to kind of check in, and she and Marguerite and Minrai are just kind of have a chance to catch up a little bit, and it's just a normal. It's relatively normal for you all to see each other, but if there's just so
I
Breeza
am
would be there.
definitely like furiously shit talking Ninja, the elf, whatever. Like even when I'm doing my rounds, I will totally like propagandize. Like I mean, they're assholes anyways, right? Like I don't have to propaganda anything, but like I will definitely like talk it up and be like assholes.
Okay.
Keep it real subtle, so it's not like I'm gonna get like outed, but
Don't stress the clutch out,
yeah, I don't want to stress the clutch. I also don't want to like give myself away as like a trouble person and like disappear.
hmm
Just enough that like I'm like, yeah, can you believe that these people? God.
I'm tempted to kind of to make you do a roll here and see how well you succeed at kind of keeping, getting people to kind of without blowing like some sort or without like attracting bad attention.
Okay, but since I am also trying to defend the defenseless in my like general shit talking, and that is my refresh.
That is a very generous read of defend the defenseless.
I know. I'm verbally defending the voiceless.
Uh-huh.
People who don't feel comfortable calling out that bullshit.
I don't think I'm gonna let that one fly. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, but
That's
I'm
okay.
going to
Am I
let's
doing a
see.
roll?
You are gonna do a roll. You can
No.
either use compel or sneak.
Oh, good. Cool. I like both of those. Just kidding. I don't have either of those.
hmm
Okay. So which one, I mean, do I know kind of which one might hurt which resistance? I mean, I guess it would probably all just be the same, wouldn't it? They'd all be
Yeah. So
reputation.
no shadow. Shadow is
Shadow.
the resistance that kind of goes against like blowing your cover or people kind of being on to you about things. Reputation is more like charisma based, right? How well people like you or how well you have clout in a certain a group.
Okay.
This would be a shadow against
So
shadow.
then I guess I'll roll compel.
Okay, and you have low society, right?
I do have low society.
Okay.
So it's like what, 2D something?
2d10.
2D10. Let's go. Nothing could
Hey,
possibly go. Hey, actually, yeah,
that's
good. I
really
got a
good.
10.
That's really
Okay.
good. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna. It says with a critical you get to inflict one stress against like whoever you're working against, which doesn't quite pertain, but I am gonna make a note of that, and we'll see how it plays out
Yeah.
later based on kind of how the story moves along. But yeah, you do a pretty good job of just kind of like tell
Stirring up asses.
the right
Do you-
people the right things to kind of get more of derelictus, more of the people in your kind of community outside of just your own building 228 to kind of this kind of sentiment of like anti-city guard, anti-harmonious properties, like how dare they come in here and like mess with our community.
Your building could be next. Your clutch could be next.
Okay, who else? And Kelvy, what would you do with your
Kelvy,
Okay.
you can go ahead.
Already? So Kelvy is going to hunker down with his typewriter for the night and start writing an article on the dangers of bread.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
It's going to be half pseudoscience, half like opinion. Like, do you really want bread coming from these people? And here's things that could happen.
Nice.
Petition for the subtitle of this article to be "Let's not get this bread."
Oh.
Done.
Oh.
Okay. That is very interesting. Why don't you roll me a compel roll to see how well this goes over with your crowd the next day. So this will be compel and low society.
If I want to hold on to it,
Mhm.
would I not roll yet?
Do you mean not distribute the
Yes, it's going to essentially be a draft that I'm going to hold on
Yes.
to.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so then at the point where you are ready to distribute it is when we would roll compel.
Great. Yeah, I'm going to
Okay.
hold on to it for now because I have some hopeful plans for it.
Okay, good. Yeah.
We'll
so
see where that goes.
draft it up and you hold on to it. Cool.
Great.
Cool. So Hennis is very much a creature of habit and structure, so he's going to mostly be doing his different trainings and stuff because he does for his quote unquote day job fight. And he's going to be particularly busy with that today because he has a fight coming up that he will be going up Spire for.
Okay. Oh, so tonight? You want to go up Spire tonight?
Not tonight. It'll probably be tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So as this is kind of your day is kind of winding down, and you've got Kelvy at his typewriter, and everyone, Barnabas and Rick and Minrai are kind of starting to return back. Maybe Minrai would actually still be down in the basement. You get a knock at the door. I would say this would be around just after dinner time, a little like an hour or two after dinner. So getting late, but not super late. So Minrai, it's kind of up to you if you think you would be still in the basement or if you would be back.
Wait, me?
Yeah.
I think I would be back. I believe that you should work hard, play hard, and sleep really hard.
Okay.
All my characters love sleep.
Yep.
One common.
Okay. So yeah, it's a somewhat timid knock, but there's a knock at your front door.
Ooh.
For all of us?
It's your front door.
Okay, sorry,
Oh,
my
I am
brain is
proud.
just.
We're all home.
I would go answer it.
I would not.
Okay.
You would answer it, Barnabas?
Yes?
Okay, I couldn't quite hear what you said. That's
Oh, yeah, I feel like Barnabas would just be like, oh, someone's at the door. Like, Barnabas ain't afraid of shit. Barnabas eats people. Like, he's like, whoever comes to this fucking door, I got it.
Give me a shout if you need me.
Okay.
Barnabas.
So Barnabas opens the door, and on the other side of the door is a young Drow woman that you know from your building. Her name is Selavi, Selavi. I've never said it out loud before, so that's why it sounded very strange. Selavi?
It's like, say la vie.
Selavi?
Yeah,
Selavi. We're gonna say Selavi. And Selavi is she's just kind of your average derelictus Drow, like not much to to really distinguish her from anyone else. She's got kind of long black hair, dark gray skin, pretty slender and short, and wears just kind of your very typical, like, this is what I found today that wasn't full of holes and smelled disgusting, because
Do I know her well through my...
You don't know her that well. She's actually a little bit reclusive. She's not, you know her. You've seen her around, you know her name, you'd say hi to her in the hallway, but she and her girlfriend do not kind of spend a whole lot of time don't spend a whole lot of time especially with your crew. Like, you see them socializing sometimes, but never have really engaged much with you all. And she kind of like looks into the apartment and kind of nervously is like, hi, actually I was kind of hoping to talk to Rick or Kelvy. Could I? And she's kind of looking for them over your shoulder.
Why don't you come in? I can't remember my old man voice. So I was gonna do this.
Yeah.
Why don't you come in, Selavi, and have a seat, and I'll go see if they can help you out. And Sweet Pea is gonna like nuzzle up to her like hand and stuff like that and try to
Okay.
be comforting.
All right. Yeah, she's pretty used to Sweet Pea and kind of starts back a little bit, but then like gets a little more comfortable and actually like pets Sweet Pea a little bit and seems
And
a little,
Sweet Pea
yeah.
just laughs a little because that's what hyenas do. So she's just like when she does it. But it's a good laugh.
It's a good laugh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sullivan is a little weirded out, but she's okay with it.
Does Sweet
Barnabas
Pea
is
use a
used to
litter
this.
box?
Sweet Pea actually
Potty
marks
trained.
the area around with white droppings that come from specific anal sacs that let other hyenas know that this is her
Oh.
territory.
I love
That is
it.
Thank you for
extremely
this deep
specific.
dive
Yeah.
into hyena
That was
anatomy.
an anatomically.
I definitely didn't Google hyena facts for children, so
That's gonna be the next Spire-related meme is hyena facts. Hyena fact number 17. Okay.
oh yeah, I'm here for it. Yeah, so I would invite her in, and then I would go and
Yeah.
see if I could.
Notably, your apartment is very small. Like, I think
Right,
each
right.
square
But
on
we have
this
some
is like
rooms, right.
2 feet. Yeah. So it's quite cramped in there. But anyway, yes. Carry on.
All right, so I would invite her in. And do we have like a scrubby old couch or something?
Oh,
or-
sure. Yeah. Hannah
Yeah,
sleeps
so I
on
would
it
like
most of the
gesture
time.
to it. Sweepy would kind of hop up there and curl up on one side of it, and I would go and if Ulrich or who's looking for Ulrich or Kelvy,
Yeah.
I would if they weren't in the room already, I would go and knock on their doors.
Okay.
Are you guys in the room,
I was
or-
like by the kitchen, so
Okay.
I guess I'm coming in now.
Okay.
Hey Rick, Selvey wants to come and talk to you. And then I'm just gonna go into my bedroom because I want to be polite and give them privacy.
That's very kind of you.
But Sweepy is definitely curled up on the couch
Curled up.
next to them.
I will definitely like peek out the door. Like, who was it? What was it about?
I'll
Man, Rye, mind your business.
My business is everybody in this building.
I'm also gonna enter the common space with
Okay.
pen in hand, editing a bit.
Yeah.
As a...
Yeah, so she sees you coming into the room and she's like, I'm not sure about this. She seems really nervous. I'm not sure about this, but both Mama Luke's and whose mic is that?
I don't know.
Uh,
I heard it too.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. If it happens again, we'll troubleshoot.
Hunt someone down.
Yeah. But you know, both Mama Luke's and Auntie Nadia said that I could trust you. And so I guess it's the best shot I have, because I trust them and they trust you. So listen, Mama Luke's said that well, she said that she heard from Auntie Rosaline, who heard from Marguerite, that maybe someone was going to, I don't know, that like someone from the company, Harmonious Properties, that there's going to be like an inspection soon. And listen, me and Zet, we have things that can't be seen by
I will
them.
kick the door. I will kick my bedroom door open. What's happening? What's going on?
She actually
Barnabas just puts his face in his hand.
Relax, Minray. We've got a handle on this.
Did you put these babies at risk? These eggs at risk?
Everybody drink.
She's like, I didn't know. I mean, listen, like, it's nothing different than it's been for years. It's just that now suddenly people are inspecting the building. It's not me, it's Harmonious Properties. And she actually kind of like leans forward and like says, I heard Harmonious Properties, and like repeats back one of the rumors you were spreading about Harmonious Properties. As this kind of like, they're such scumbags, like how dare they, and now they're going to be doing this inspection. I don't know. I mean, from what I can tell, like nobody knows when this is going to be, but if it's tomorrow, like we're screwed. We need help getting this stuff out of here. And if you can, I don't know, if you can help us move some of this, I mean,
What is it?
it's Malak and some other, I mean, nothing awful. But yeah, they are the building drug dealers.
Alright,
Sure,
well-
yeah. If I can get a cut of that, I'd love to.
Yeah,
pitch
I
in.
don't care what you do. We're coming to you begging for your help. If you take it and get it out of our apartment before these people inspect the building, I don't care what you do with it. I just worry. I mean, I just want Zet, and I want our life to be not. I don't want to go to jail, and I don't want her to go to jail.
All right, listen, Zed. We will absolutely.
Celebi.
Yeah, sorry.
That's the other one, the girlfriend.
Yeah. You just said
Yeah.
anyway, we'll take care of this. I have the connections. We can definitely disperse of your malak. And,
Oh, I got connections too. We can make sure it goes away pretty quick.
And just making sure that that's good with you, Elise.
Mhm.
I do have those connections,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
I could make that happen. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I mean that's one of your bonds, right? Is with someone in Red Row.
My NPC bond is with Mama.
Oh, that's
and
right.
My other
PC bond.
PC bond is with. I mean, I have two of those technically, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So here's what I would say is that you know people. We're gonna, not play it as if you have a bond, but you know people who are always looking to move drugs. And so that would be relatively easy, but it might just, depending on how things play out, like it will be a little harder to get them to accept the risk depending on how risky things get.
Yeah, I guess it kind of depends on like how much malak it is, and if they're like actually able to kind of move that much.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so she's like, I guess, and she's like, at this point, like, Minrai's in the room, Barnabas was like, clearly kind of, she's like, if your friends are gonna help, they might as well just come. I mean, I can show you now if you want, or I don't know. I mean, I just am nervous, like, when are these inspectors gonna come?
Sure, yeah. We'll take care of it.
This, like with most things, the sooner the better. So let's get on with it then.
Well, the state of the room. Oh God, the voice is so hard to remember. The state of the room, the apartment, it all matters for the clutch. So of course I will come.
Are we going out? Hennis came out of the room.
Yep.
Seems to be that we are going in.
Hey, Hennis, you have two arms.
Yes.
All right, then you're coming out with us.
All right, sweet pea. I guess it's time to go.
Old
Okay.
man, do you not need your rest?
All right.
Mariah could take you any day.
Oh boy, the first fight in Spire is between two player characters.
No, it's pleasant banter. We have.
I know. I'm just kidding.
I'll
Your
fight
roommates.
you, Elise.
Okay, well, come on.
She'll take you any day.
You're scrappy. You would kick my ass.
I have a black belt. It's fine. I have several black belts. It's okay. Okay.
I played softball, so
There you go. There you go. Let's go, lesbians. All right. So, you do you guys know that the let's go, lesbians? Come on. Okay.
From
it's
Billy
fine.
on the Street?
Yes. Yes. I'm very proud my Overwatch group, as Rachel would know, like has started, shout out to anyone from our Overwatch crew in the chat, has taken up the let's go lesbians cry with me, and it's very fun. Okay.
That's great.
Let's go, lesbians. Let's go. All right.
Yep.
Okay. So that's the group name now, the lesbians. Let's go. All right. So you guys follow.
Can that be our group's name?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that every time you mobilize to do anything, the group just gets to do like a collective. Let's go, lesbians. All right. So
Barnabas is a proud lesbian.
Yes. King of the lesbians.
Lesbians don't need a king. Come on. All right, so you follow Sullivan down the hall, down the stairs to the second floor, and then around a corner through the hallway. I mean, this is very rickety. Like, the hallways don't look the same on each level. Like, each level was kind of built unique to the others. And she leads you to 202, which is her apartment, and kind of and opens the door and lets you all in, and you see Zet there in the middle of just like packing boxes furiously. She's just throwing stuff in boxes and taping. She's tying them up with twine, I guess. What do you do with boxes if you don't have tape? And
How many boxes?
it looks, well, okay, so it's unclear if she's just packing their stuff, or like like she wants to get out of town, or if she's packing like the drugs that she wants you all to move. So the answer is like,
It's definitely the drugs, right? Like,
well, I mean,
So, like, is it like the entire floor is covered in just boxes of stuff?
it's definitely getting pretty full of boxes. Yeah. There are
Okay.
quite a lot of boxes. I mean, it's not the whole floor, but I would say a solid.
It's like a Breaking Bad situation. Or...
I've never seen Breaking Bad,
Oh.
and I don't know what the
Right.
phrase means because I'm not cool.
Drug makers. It's fine. Move on.
Okay, so yes, you come in and Celavi kind of like looks through down the hall. It's real crowded in here with all these boxes and like 7 people. You are crammed in, and Celavi kind of closes the door behind you. And she like kind of gestures at Zet like frantically, like stop. Um
I look
and
to have been quite busy.
yeah, well, I'm not gonna stick around and see what happens with all this. I don't want to get mixed up in a fight with the guards. This is Celavi. And Zet just looks miserable. I don't want to get involved with a fight with the guards. I don't want anybody to know that this is here. I mean, it's mostly Malak, which you guys know is pretty harmless. Like, obviously in high doses or as kind of like a out of control thing, it's not good, but it's for the most part, most people just take it as like melatonin practically, right? So these aren't necessarily like terrible drug dealers. These are just people who made their life like this. And Celavi kind of opens one of the bedroom doors, and you see that in there much more evidence of actual kind of drug paraphernalia, things that for like growing and maintaining an indoor crop of Malak would be. And they've been packing it up, but it's still in just total disarray at this point.
Ulrich's jaw has just completely dropped.
Yeah.
He's baffled that he didn't know this existed
Yeah.
in his own apartment before today.
I think Minrai would just like roll her sleeves up and get packing with them.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
just have to do stuff.
Celavi kind of looks at you a little guiltily and is like, yeah, we kind of kept a low profile from you and let you do your thing because we wanted the people who buy it to spend their money here, and you kind of helped get that flow of business coming our way by, giving it to people here and there. So thanks.
Yeah,
We are all in this together. Drug
So,
dealer pals
this
for
is-
life.
This is all Malak here.
Yeah, the other I totally forget what the other drugs are in this world. I know there's like
I have all of them. Devil's Root, Maiden's Prayer, Godsmoke, Glimmer.
what
God
page?
smoke
and
is a
and
good
Ulrich
one.
is able to
God
like
smoke sounds cool,
discern
yeah.
each of the particular strains just by looking at it. Yeah, it's pretty great.
Do you have the page?
Barnabas is straight edge, so
Yeah, it's page 104
Thank you.
on the
The main book, right? Yeah, there we go.
yes.
Okay. Do yeah, so I think like Godsmoke, which is it's mostly pain dulling. So you also know of another person in the building that you didn't meet last game, but all of you know is a character or a person named Gunzy. And Gunzy is a dentist and would certainly use the pain killing because dentists and derelictus, it's not
Not fun.
but they also use they also are a bit of a healer. Like obviously Marguerite is kind of the person you go to with like big stuff. But Gunzy is known in the area for kind of doing their best to, they have a lot of contraband like medical supplies that they are able to kind of use, and would probably also use Godsmoke from time to time for particularly bad injuries. So I think Godsmoke and Malak are really the two things that Celavi and Zet would have.
All right. So, well, I'm quite surprised that all of this managed to just fly completely under my radar. But
I'm just surprised you don't have anything stronger.
We're
I
not...
just want to say that Barnabas is standing outside with Sweet Pea keeping watch.
Okay.
While this is
Ulrich
happening.
gives a jab to Hennis at that remark. not now. um, all right.
Joking.
Elise, what kinds of? I mean, obviously they're packing it into boxes, but like, what kinds of transportation do we have like readily on hand? Like, surely we can't just be moving all these boxes by foot.
Yeah,
right?
so the stuff in the room where like their homegrown kind of Malak and Godsmoke is not packed for the most part. Like they've packed some of the stuff, like some of their like tools and things like that, but the plants and everything themselves are not packed. Zet seems to be packing like their things. Now that you see like this is the operation of the actual drugs, and then in the other rooms that is like packing up their stuff, like they're gonna book it and leave town. So there are no boxes right now, is what I'm telling you. There's like a few small boxes of like tools, like clippers to like clip the leaves and stuff like that, but like not not boxes of like, not like moving boxes full of like little marijuana plants. So it's kind of
Sure.
yeah. So like Celavi is standing there. She's like, I don't know. I don't know what to do with all of it. I mean, we were thinking maybe we'd just split and get out of town, but then we thought if we leave this here, then they'd know who the apartment belonged to and they'd hunt us down. They know. I mean, it wouldn't be hard to figure out where Zet's parents live. And she's just kind of panicked, rambling at this point.
Hennis is gonna go ahead and go over to Minrai and help pack.
Okay, so you're packing like Zet with Zet, like their stuff, or are you packing like?
Minrai, what are you packing?
I think at seeing I was helping them pack whatever box they were packing when I came in, but I think if I saw them panicking like that, I would probably walk over and put my hands on their shoulder and just be like, "Panic later if you have time. Right now, pack these stupid boxes."
Okay. Yeah, that kind
I
of.
think I would go.
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
think I would go over towards the room where they were growing and
Okay.
start just putting random things in boxes. I don't know what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of a game world technical question.
Mm-hmm.
What kinds of communication do we have available to us? Because like, if I wanted to get like a missive or something out to all of my contacts,
Mm-hmm.
how would I do that?
Good question. I think it would be perfectly reasonable, especially with your connection to Mama Luke's, to have like, street urchin kids. There are a lot of child gangs essentially in Derelictus that are kind of abandoned children and orphans who work together to do what they can to survive. And I think Mama Luke's is known to them as like an ally. And so I would say you could um lean on your bond with Mama Luke's to use, you know, those children essentially as kind of messengers, like pay them to deliver a message if you wanted.
Okay, and it's still like night of the first day, right?
Yes. 20 68 hours from whatever it is remain. you know? Anyone?
Right.
Okay.
I got
Yes,
it.
yes.
Okay, thank you.
I
Oh
phrased
god, there's a
that
mosquito in my
question
office.
specifically.
Destroy it, burn it all down.
I will.
Oh,
I gotta go, guys. The house is burning.
you don't need it anymore.
No, I just want it's on the
Oh,
curtain, so I
no,
can't like.
Set Rika on it.
No, I got it.
high elves are
Okay,
coming.
I got it. Don't worry, I killed it. The great mosquito disaster of 2020. That's the biggest disaster of this year, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, what was your question, Ulrich?
Yeah. So, well, I'd asked about like.
Oh yeah, spreading the
communication.
word.
So
Mhm.
I guess I'm kind of debating to myself whether or not it makes sense because I was planning on going over to Mama Luke's like first thing tomorrow morning,
Mhm.
but now I'm wondering if I need to make that a midnight visit.
Okay.
Spicy.
Tee-hee.
Yeah, midnight visit.
Fade to black.
Mama Luke.
All right. Um, I think for now, like Ulrich kind of views the most immediate Crisis is kind of needing to get everything ready to go,
Hmm.
as opposed to needing the people. Like I feel like Ulrich is pretty confident he'll be able to spread or get the drugs out, but he needs to make sure that they're able to be transported. So he's probably also assisting in boxing things up in the most appropriate fashion.
Okay. All right. So if everyone's just kind of working on boxing stuff, I'd say, it takes at least an hour, although you have many hands doing the work, so it goes a little faster than it would have if only one of you had come. And you box up and kind of get the room pretty clear of stuff, and well, at least boxed up, right? And Celavi is kind of hovering now, and she looks kind of to you, Ulrich, and is like, well, um, is it still? I mean, even just a small amount of that stuff would be enough to get someone in a lot of trouble. So I don't know. Are we moving it tonight? Are we moving it in the morning? What's the plan? I mean,
Well, my plan was more or less to spread the word first thing in the morning, because right now I'm pretty sure no one is equipped to be picking up quite this much malak. So getting them aware and making sure that they have hands on deck to be able to move the drugs is kind of, I think, the best plan.
she nods, looks a little, stressed out, but understands. Okay, well, I guess and she kind of looks over at Zet and like gives this kind of like stressed out laugh, like this is fine. It's gonna be a bit of a sleepless night tonight, but first thing in the morning, if we can, then.
Quick question.
Mhm.
I mean, does Malak have a smell much like its real life counterpart?
Um, good question.
Because like my brain is telling me that if we had just been handed as an apartment this huge eviction notice, that
Hmm.
it would be very common to see apartments full of boxes.
Hmm.
So I kind of think that like there's security in numbers kind of situation happening
Hmm.
here, that the high elves will not be looking inside of each and every box from every apartment, sort of
Yeah. um. No, I don't think it would have a very strong smell, especially not in the form that it's in. It's essentially it's made from algae, so you've packed up a lot of the algae that they use to grow, or that they are growing, that they then convert into Malak, and it's
Right.
usually applied. It's a liquid, right? So it's applied as like a tincture, like drop to the tongue. So in its vials and in algae form, like it doesn't have a very strong stench. No.
All right. Well, Slavi, I realize this might not appear to be the best case scenario. I know, much like you, if it were possible to get all of this stuff out of the apartment right now, that would be the way to go. But I think you can kind of rest assured that it's like literally everyone in the entire apartment complex is like getting stuff together if they think there's no hope in staying here. So I think you and Zet are going to find much security in numbers, as far as just having everything boxed away.
Okay.
He's doing everything he can to reassure her at this point.
Okay. Yeah, I think that with all of the help and kind of no sign of trouble that night, like she takes that news or that kind of reassurance pretty well. And unless there's anything else y'all want to do tonight, with them or with anyone, then I think she kind of, with everything kind of boxed up now and out of sight, she feels a little more comfortable, and y'all can head to bed or do whatever you want to do.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I figured I would head to bed, and
Okay.
Yeah,
assuming
I
everybody
think
else is, if anybody else would go out and do anything and like not be sneaky about it, then I might, inquire as to what they were doing first. But
I think considering what's happening, I would probably just go to bed so that I could get some sleep for the tomorrow's kind of like a big day.
Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
that's my thoughts too.
Hennis is gonna go, I think, outside real quick and have a quick smoke.
Okay.
You're
He's also
shanked.
gonna. Well, he's gonna look around while he's out there. Does it look like anyone is watching the
Hennis
apartment
is
building at
gonna
this
see.
hour?
Hennis sees.
Having a smoke, not a drink.
What is the question?
Is there anyone else there, like, doing the same thing or watching the building that I think is weird, or is it just do that and go back to bed?
Um, let's see. What would you notice? You go out, you take a smoke, you look around. Nobody watching the building. No. Amandu comes in kind of late, sees you smoking outside, kind of gives a nod, and starts to head in. But yeah, I think besides that, it all seems pretty standard. I mean, there's a little bit of like people talking because of the eviction notice.
Mhm.
Like some people are coming by who probably live in like nearby buildings just to see the notice. It is actually fairly uncommon for the people up Spire to care enough to condemn a building in derelictus. And so in that kind of like and especially with Minrai having successfully spread this kind of like rumor about Harmonious properties, I think people are kind of coming by a little bit to like gossip and see it for themselves. But just like yesterday, nobody actually, or just like this morning, nobody actually touches the notice. It seems to be a pretty commonly accepted superstition that notices, like official paperwork from Upspire, is haunted, and you don't mess with it.
Cool. Okay. He finishes the smoke and goes to bed.
Okay. All right. So in the morning, you guys wake up and start your day just like you did the day before.
With a
Um,
nice breakfast.
With a nice breakfast. Barnabas in the kitchen, cooking up some eggs and bacon. Oh, nice. A good roommate.
I got some French toast.
Eggs and bacon. I thought you were more more
I also
carnivorous
eat
than
regular food.
that. Okay.
I would go hungry pretty quickly if I survived only on people.
Does Minrai not have a problem with the eggs?
Like the eggs that you're cooking.
They're chicken.
Yeah.
So
But these
there's
are
no
clearly not
ideological
Drow
thing
eggs.
there. Well, no, of
Why
course
would I
not.
have
But I
problems?
just thought.
Joker, huh?
So, did I hear that some of you are planning on going up Spire today?
Yeah, I'm going to go see that Nezade person.
I don't think they liked me very much.
I don't think they did. You cannot come with me, Minrai.
I understand.
I'll
I
also
have
be
a
going
feeling
up.
that if I saw them, one of us would not leave alive.
But I'm happy to take other company if people are so inclined.
Oh,
Well, I
yeah.
have business up Spire today. I might go with you on the trip.
I also have to go up Spire, but I need to make a quick stop at Mama Luke's kind of first thing.
You go there, breakfast will be ready when you get back.
All right, make a big one because I'm feeling kind of hungry.
I pull out another rasher of bacon.
That's more like it.
Bacon is a rare occurrence in the household, but I think Barnabas.
I didn't say where the bacon came
Yeah.
from.
Oh god.
Oh no!
Oh god.
Barnabas is not an asshole who would feed other people like
Drows.
person meat. He doesn't share his thinking flesh with those that don't worship Charnel.
All right.
After we're all done eating breakfast, see, it's not so bad.
Right. I start looking at you all to make sure you're not turning into ghouls.
All right. So, Rick, where are you headed?
Oh goodness.
Mama Luke's.
Yep.
Anybody else going with Rick, or is otherwise doing anything this morning? Just to make sure I got
I'm
everybody
sleeping in.
sleeping in.
Yeah.
The smell of bacon not getting you out of bed.
Rick
I mean, I'll
wouldn't.
peek out, but
Rick wouldn't mind the company, but he doesn't necessarily need it.
I think knowing that I have stuff to do and that asshole Neza Day won't be dying today just takes it out of me a little bit.
Okay. All right.
Who says that? I mean,
I mean,
you don't know
by
how my
my
meeting will
hand.
go.
Sorry, by my hand.
I'll go ahead and tag along. I got nothing better to do this morning.
Okay. So
Love it.
Kelvy and
so
Ulrich
get up.
head out to Mama Luke's and Amandu's apartment. You get there. You knock, I presume.
No, I mean, I don't need to knock.
You can just go in. Mama Luke's
Oh,
knows.
booty call.
um,
Sorry.
And okay, so yeah, I mean, you go, you knock. What you don't, I don't know, but you get there. And you get into the apartment. I think Mama Luke's would come to the door. Either if you barged in or knocked. And she looks a little frazzled, a little hassled. And I'm so glad you're here, Rick. I can't. This boy, and she like gestures in, and you see Amandu is he does look like he slept well, and with his kind of renewed sense of like I don't know, like he seems more focused, more alert, less distracted than he did yesterday. And he kind of glances over and gives you a little wave. Not nearly
Oh
as
my
hostile.
gosh, a wave.
A wave, not nearly as hostile as he was the day before, but he is packing boxes. And Mama Luke's is unpacking boxes behind him essentially. Like she hobbles back over and starts, opening a box that he's just closed, and she starts taking things out of it, and he reaches over and he's like, "Mom, stop. We have to I know where we're gonna go. We're gonna be fine, but we have to get out of here. We can't stay here. They're gonna burn the building down." She's like, Rick, Kelvy, can you talk some sense into this boy? They're not getting rid of us that easy.
I kind of cut her off half sentence and grab her by the shoulders, say, hey, listen, it's gonna be all right. And then he kind of gives her he gives her a hug.
Okay.
and after the embrace, he kind of pulls back and says, hey, I have kind of a big favor to ask, but could I kind of get a moment real fast with Amandu, and then I'll come find you.
Yeah, if you can talk some sense into that boy. And she kind of keeps ranting again, kind of off to somebody else. Like she's no longer talking to you. She's having a conversation with someone unseen further in the apartment. No, I know it's gonna be. Just stop. He's gonna be fine, and like just disappears into the kitchen. Leaving you, Kelvy, and Amandu. And Amandu, you notice he's one of the boxes that he's working on actually has, this is something we haven't talked about yet, but very important to the world of Spire, masks that he is packing into that box.
How zeitgeisty of him.
And masks are extremely important in Spire because the Alfir, who are the I want to say like just the white people of Spire, but that's oh god, okay. The oppressive high elf race, they wear masks at all times, and require their servants, including those doing durance for them, to wear masks as well. So he has a couple masks that he is kind of carefully wrapping in cloth and packing into this box right now.
So would Rick's kind of first assumption upon seeing masks be something along the lines of that, the intention of those masks is for other endurance, other people going through their durance, or do they look like they're of the caliber that they would be for the actual high elves?
No, they are more what you would expect a drow to have who is going through endurance or working up Spire in some way. So they seem appropriate to Amandu's station. But he has a couple of them, and they all kind of have the same patterning on them. They're very similar as he's wrapping them. You notice that. And you would be familiar, everyone who's spent any time up Spire would be familiar. These are masks that the Alfir would essentially give their drow servants to wear that indicate that this is a drow servant of a particular lord. And most of you would have worn something similar in your endurances up Spire if you served one up Spire.
Right. Okay. So, I assume is this a mask like the mask that he's packing up? Are they ones that I recognize?
Um, Good question. What did we say last time?
We said last time specifically about my knowledge of Lord Faisal was
Mm-hmm.
mostly like I knew him by name. I kind of knew like about what
Mm-hmm.
he covered
Yeah.
as far as his responsibilities are, and that my Lord Inglori, Mr. Inglori, has something of a relationship with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that you would recognize these masks. A lot of times, Drow or Alfir lords and overseers would have their Drow underlings do business with each other, and you would be wearing masks like these. So it would be very if you don't recognize the actual stamp of Faisal himself, which I think you would, having done the amount of like kind of business training that you did, you would certainly recognize this as Drow servant masks, which you would easily connect to Faisal. So one way or the other, I would say you have a pretty good sense that these are Faisal's masks.
Okay. So I guess Ulrich goes over to Amandu, kind of bends down onto one knee and starts like picks up a mask from I guess the pile, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and you know puts it in a box with a bunch of other ones and says, "Wow, it's a mighty lot of masks you got here. They're all for Lord Faisal, aren't they?
Um,
Are you like delivering these or are they yours?"
he is like frozen stiff solid at you interacting with and commenting on these masks. And kind of like just very uncomfortable. And he's like, look, I know you helped me out yesterday, giving my mom that malak for me to take, and I appreciate that. I do, but these are personal. These are mine. And he kind of takes the one that you moved like back, puts it in a different box, even though it doesn't seem to make that much of a difference which box it's in.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to intrude. I just there's a lot going on right now, and I know you're under probably a lot of distress with needing to move so much. Is there any way that I can help you?
I
I mean, I have more malak, but I don't want to recommend that right now if you don't want it.
I mean, it was, and he kind of pauses what he's doing and like rubs at his eyebrow, his temples a bit. He's like, it was nice to get a full night's sleep. I feel like I haven't slept well since before I left for my durance, so I thank you for that. It was kind of you to give it to my mom for no cost. Um, but my boyfriend lives in Red Row, and I think we're just I know Mama doesn't want to move, but there's just no way we can stay here with this going on. And trails off. He's not.
Yeah, well, I'm no stranger to being forced out of your living accommodations by the Elfia. But if you need some extra hands, I'm happy to help when I can. But I actually have a question for you.
Okay.
Yeah. I before I even get to any of that deep shit, uh, what's your what's your current relationship? How are your feelings towards your lord? I know that you just finished your durance, so it seems strange to me that you might be, holding on to all these servant masks. Like that just doesn't track. But if you're uncomfortable, please don't feel like you need to go into any sort of detail. I'm just trying to get my mind around this.
Yeah, let's have you roll persuade, or compel. And let's see, you have, um, it would be, I think you could swing low or high society for this roll, but not both because you are talking about his Durance Upspire and kind of about Upspire things. But you're in literally low society areas, so. Okay, who's messing with their mic right now?
Yeah.
Who was that?
Who's just touching their mic?
Not me. I heard it.
I'm muted,
muted,
so
but
it wasn't
unmuted.
me.
Okay, well.
Huh. All right.
I'll watch like a
Okay.
hawk.
So, which roll would be better for me? Also, this is my first time rolling. So
Oh,
that's
yay!
exciting.
Okay, so yeah, this is compel. So if you have the compel skill, that's plus 1d10.
I do not have compel. I have investigate. So
Okay.
I don't know if that could be used.
Examine a scene, situation, or collection of information. I don't
The
think.
masks are a collection.
But you are specifically trying to get Amandu to open up to you.
Right.
And so I think that this is still compel. So yeah, compel, which by the way, Kelvy, if you're there and you want to assist, it would grant because I think you do have compel, right?
I do have compel,
Yeah,
yes. So
so-
I'll go ahead and assist him then.
Okay, yeah. So assuming Kelvy's there and just kind of backs you up a little bit, you can take the assistance from him. So you roll your base d10 plus 1 for compel from Calvi, plus 1 for either high or low society if you have it.
Hold on 1 second. I am looking to see if I have it. I have low society.
Okay, yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, roll low society. So that's 3d10.
3d10 I'm rolling.
Yes,
total.
3d10 total.
Cool. All right, here goes.
We take your highest roll. It is a 7, which I believe is a partial or a success, but with stress. So let's roll a d3. We're going to apply the stress to your bond with Amandu. So roll 3.
You're rolling that for me, okay?
Yeah. 3. Okay, so that's okay. And now I will roll for Fallout. Basically, you want this to be higher than a 3. Okay, so you are.
Minray is in my building.
I will take this hit to your bond with whatever person.
No, so the bond takes 3 stress but doesn't break, essentially, is what that means. And the way that works is, since this is a temporary bond, you just build stress on this bond until either it breaks with Fallout or at the end of the day, it's just over. And we actually roll Fallout one final time at the end of the day for temporary stress or for temporary bonds. So even if you don't lean on this ever again, at the end of the day before we go to bed, like, we will roll Fallout against that 3 one more time, just so you know.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, this in this case, you succeed. The bond takes the stress, not you, and that is good. That is all very good. So Amandu kind of picks up one of the masks and kind of like turns it around in his hand, and he's like, "Do you know what my endurance was?"
Well, I have a couple assumptions, but I've not worked directly with Lord Faisal, but I have kind of a business kind of relationship with him and his work. Do I know what his?
I think you got it out of Mama yesterday that he was a fighter, like essentially like gladiator style.
Yeah.
Yes.
He was a fighter. Okay.
Yes.
So yeah, I maybe I don't hint exactly that I know he was a fighter, but because I think kind of letting on that. No, screw it, screw it. I'm gonna go full guns on this. Um, yeah. Well, I know that Lord Faisal does a lot of uh, why don't how do you say athletics training
uh,
with.
he, like, when you say that, he kind of gives a very humorless, like, snort kind of laugh, and then pauses and then, like, spits off to the side, and he's like, yeah, it's, call it what it is. It's fights to the death. It's pitting Drow against each other to their own doom. Kind of gives another one of those, like, ironic or, like, scathing kind of laughs, and he's like, your friend Hennis probably knows a lot about it. Listen, I didn't keep these masks because I want anything to do with Faisal. I kept them because it's hard to let go of them. I spent 4 years wearing these and cutting people up with blades and shooting guns at people, and then they just send me home. So I kept him. Fuck that guy. I don't want anything to do with him, and I wish he didn't want anything to do with me.
Oh, damn. All right. Yeah, I definitely don't blame you at all, and I certainly can commiserate with you. Well, I may not exactly be able to understand and appreciate the stress of your personal endurance, but listen, like I said before, if there's anything you need, please, I'm obviously very close with your mother, but if you ever need anything, please just let her know, let me know, um, and keep on keeping on.
I love the idea. It's like Zuko from Avatar. That's rough, buddy. Like, no idea. It's just no. Keep on keeping on.
Yeah, I mean, Ulrich is basically a less wise Uncle Eero.
Yeah. He kind of you know, well, I appreciate that. I don't. Mama thinks we're not actually gonna get kicked out. She said you and your friends are doing something to help. Kind of questioning.
Yeah, but please, do keep that under wraps. We don't want the wrong people to find out that we're, peeking past doors maybe most people shouldn't be. But you can trust that we're doing everything we can to get this all sorted out. You and Mama are just gonna be all right.
Let I'll tell you this. Faisal thinks he's doing he's helping. He thinks this is gonna help. I don't know.
Who does he think he's helping?
Me, the drow down here, he asked me questions. He would ask me questions about what it was like to live there. He thought it was cool to hear stories about poverty and people having to join gangs because their parents died in the works and things like that. I don't know, that he's a sick idiot.
Yes,
but
seems kind of counterproductive that he would be having the Drow fight to the death and also simultaneously be claiming to want to help them.
Yeah, I mean, he thought that that us fighting was what we wanted to do because, we're all violent assholes who just want to get in fights, and that's what he thinks Drow are. I don't know. He doesn't. The Alfir don't make sense. They just do things and they say things and they think things that aren't true. And this is what he thinks. He thinks that he can come down here and buy this building and save my family and save my life because he thinks he's special. He thinks he's important. And
by forcing you to leave.
Well, I'm sure he would have a hand in making sure we got a winning number in the lottery to move back in. Uh, but listen, he's you're I don't know about eviction notices. I don't know about the official stuff. But if he owns this building and you can convince him he's not helping or that there's a better way to help, he'll or that he doesn't actually care. He just wants to be able to do this and then parade me around as his little show puppet about how great my life is in Derelictus now because of him. And if he's not going to get that out of it, if he's not going to get what he wants from this, he won't do it. So if that helps you, then
Certainly, but is that what you want?
If we kill him, there's no reason.
if you
for this
kill him,
to-
Harmonious Properties is just going to keep going. It's not going to make a difference. They'll just make him a martyr and name the building after him. And you've got to get him to stop, or them to stop, or the city guard to not back him up. I don't know, something. Listen, I've got to keep working on this. I'm supposed to go to Red Row in a couple minutes, and around this time, um, you start to hear a commotion downstairs. And the people still in 307 would be closer because I think Mama Luke's and Amandu live up higher um, from from you all. But yeah, you hear some people kind of shouting, a bit of a tussle. There's like a bang as something like slams into a wall, and kind of official sounding voices like yelling for people to keep their calm from downstairs. And that is where we are going to take a break. So thank you to those of you who kind of held on and just listened for a little bit there while Rick and Kelvy pressed Amandu for information. Okay, so 10-minute break. We'll be back at 8:10ish. So use the bathroom, get your water, grab another January cooler beer. And I think
How dare you?
all right, I'm going to mute us and take us to the BRB screen. So hang in there and see you in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Hopefully this works. That's always my repeating refrain. Hello. I see that it is now live on Twitch. You probably heard me hoping it worked. Okay, so we are back, and we are going to pick up with the commotion downstairs. So probably the first people who would get to kind of act in response to hearing this kind of like thump of something kind of getting shoved into a wall, and people got, you know, some more officious sounding voices yelling for people to calm down from downstairs would be those who stayed in 307, which would be Hennis, Barnabas, and Minrai. So
I'm grabbing
I
my
have a
knife.
question
Oh
for the
yeah,
GM.
Barnabas is gonna be rushing out.
GM.
Yep, I'm like, okay, let's
Sweet pea
do
in tow.
it. See, this is why I sleep in. Wait, I need to do the voice.
But
This
the
is why I
bacon.
sleep in, Barnabas. Let's go.
So that you are still in bed when something happens?
So that I am rested when something happens.
Okay, so you three start pounding down the stairs. On the second floor, who would be what would you think kind of the marching order would be, just kind of for narrative purposes? Who's like
I
the
feel
quickest
like I
to
would
draw?
be first, but
Yeah, I definitely would not be first despite my wants.
I would
you're
not
like,
want
let's
to be
hurry,
last.
and you still saunter.
What
Like-
was I didn't Andrew, what did you say?
I would not want to be last. And I also had a question for the GM, actually.
Yeah, go for it.
What floor were Celavians at on?
2.
Welp.
So Hennis and Barnabas, just for kind of to see where you, because like I think both of you are pretty quick to the draw, given your classes endurances. So why don't you guys just roll me a d10 each, and we'll take whoever is highest is in the lead, and the next person.
Y'all
and
like
then
pushing to get out the door.
yeah, pretty much. Minrai at the back.
I'm doing like the Karen mom walk.
And Andrew, if you need me to roll for you, because I know you said roll 20 is being weird, just let me know.
Let's see if this works.
Okay. Sit here and wait for it to roll. Everybody's like in suspended animation, just like wait. All right, so
There
yeah,
we go.
Barnabas got the drop, and he and Sweet Pea are the first. Hennis right on his heels, Minrai following. And so yeah, as you guys kind of pound down the stairs, as you go down the first floor, it's Minrai as the last to go who actually notices Celavi poking her head out, looking very panicked. Yeah.
Turn
so-
back to her and keep your head in your room. We will deal with this. Keep packing.
Okay. She nods and like slams the door. Okay, and yeah, so you guys down to the first floor, and you see on the first floor, there are just one city guard. The city guard does not have much of a presence in this part of Derelictus, and it would be pretty unusual, like not to see them every now and you might see them once or twice a day, if you were out all day, but for them to like be accompanying somebody is actually pretty uncommon. This is an area where, for the most part, like basically the closest city guard garrison is on the other side of Red Row, and Red Row is where the city guard don't go. So for them to come over here, they have to go through Red Row, which is like lots of criminals and gang activity and drug use and stuff. And they are not welcome there, and they are woefully outnumbered there. And so city guard are a little more rare in this area than in a lot of other areas, just because of that. And so it's one city guard, and then 2 people kind of dressed similarly to Neza, how Neza was dressed the previous day, wearing nicer clothes, clearly from up Spire a little bit, if not
Are
further.
they human like Neza?
Nope, these are Drow.
Okay.
Who but yeah, they you would clearly clock them as working with Harmonious Properties if you had seen Neza the day before. So Barnabas and Minrai would know just by looking that they work for Harmonious Properties. And they are not the toughest looking, but they also did come armed. Like, this is not a good part of town, and they don't look like they want to get in a fight, but they look like they came prepared to get in a fight if they had to.
Did we, in the notice, did it say that it wouldn't like happen today, would it? The the demolition, or did it not specify?
It said 7 days.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And so yeah,
Is
so
there any?
Mhm.
Are there any other like tenants down in the lobby?
yeah, there are a few other tenants down in the lobby. You see Gunsy, the dentist, is they seem to have been either on their way out or in from just kind of morning business, and they're in an argument with the Harmonious Properties, one of the two Harmonious Properties folk, and a few people like who live on the first floor are kind of poking their heads out and looking, and one of the doors is like being held physically open by the city guard. Like he has opened the door forcefully, and there are people inside yelling for them to like leave them alone and like you can't come in here, right? So this is clearly someone's home
I'm naked.
that they are trying to invade. And the Harmonious Property person who's arguing with Gunsy is like, it's just a routine inspection for the demolition that's coming up. It's not a big deal. Just let us into the homes.
I will shout from the back.
What? Oh,
Look
jeez.
at these little lost lambs led to this slaughter. Perhaps you need some help finding your way around this old and derelict building.
Yeah, Barnabas is going to march straight up to the city guard and just be like, "What seems to be the problem, friend?" And like Sweet Pea is right next to him, and she is definitely baring her teeth.
Okay. The city guard kind of like hoists his like he's got like a I want to call them tanfa because that's what they're called in the martial arts that I've done. But what are the like batons, like a police baton? Like a heavy wooden baton, basically.
Like a billy club?
Like a tonfa?
Like a tanfa. Okay, I'm gonna draw it for you. Me and Ava know because we did martial arts together. Hashtag basically
how funny,
sisters.
yeah.
Okay, so it's got like a little handle that you hold on to, and then the
Should I
club.
be looking at something?
It's on D20. I'm drawing it on D20 for you.
Are you?
Hallway says it's a nightstick.
Because I don't see it.
Why don't you see it? I see it on the
Are
stream.
you on the same page as
I
me?
see it too. It's on the edge of the house.
It's on the
If you
edge.
look
You
a
yeah,
little-
you might have to
scroll a little.
Yeah,
Scroll.
Here.
Left of the house.
Now it looks worse than it did when I was but that's okay. So like you
Sure.
hold
Oh,
on.
yeah, no, I was not over there.
You hold on to like this part right here, like in your fist, and you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
swing
I
it.
know what you're talking
Okay. Yeah, what is that called in English?
tonfa.
Yeah,
No,
I
kidding.
know it's called a
He said
tonfa.
Nightstick. Galway
Nightstick?
said nightstick.
Okay, nightstick. I believe you, Galway. Okay, so
It's called a rebel weapon.
a what?
Out
Called
of
the
Star
Wars: The
prayer
Force
weapon.
Awakens.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
Traitor.
Traitor. Okay. So he's got one of those. He also has a gun that is holstered right now, but he does raise the he does raise the kind of baton as you kind of get up in his face, and he's like he kind of points it into your chest and like backs you up with it an inch or attempts to and says
Oh, he's gonna regret that.
who's he doing this to? I don't even remember. Barnabas, right?
Me,
Yeah, okay.
Barnabas, yeah.
Sorry. Okay.
Gosh!
Kind of puts that into your chest and like pushes you back an inch with it and says, nothing you need to worry about, friend.
We are not worried for us. We're worried for you, friend. We have a going bet. How long does it take a guard to lose his way in the derelictus? Not very long.
I love that you just answer for your own like rhetorical question. Not very long. Let's cut up to Ulrich and Kelvy. What would you do upon hearing this commotion downstairs?
I feel like I at least needed to reach Mama because I would not break my promise to
Mhm.
Celavi.
Mhm.
And so assuming she hasn't already barged like in towards like the main room of the house trying to leave to see what the commotion is,
Mhm.
I would find her and like want to relay my message and have her disseminate.
Okay. And Kelvy?
Yeah. While he goes and does that, I am going to just have my gun at the ready and just watch the door.
Okay.
Can we talk about how this background music has people like coughing and dying in it?
Yeah,
Very,
you're Alexis.
very appropriate for this.
It's perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. So okay. And Amandu is very tense and like listening kind of at the door with Kelvy, looking tense, like he's ready for a fight, and listening. So Rick, Mama does come to, what's going on, comes out. You can let's see. It's going to be a roll for the bond. um to kind of see how successful this leaning on your network is. So let's roll. Let's see. I think this is gonna be because like it's not hard to get the word out. I think the question is how effectively, how quickly it can happen. So let me look.
Yeah, I guess my one question is like,
Mhm.
she might be able to get the word out, but like, me rolling with her doesn't necessarily like that she wouldn't have power over how fast the drugs and whatnot were able to be moved.
No, but depending on how you want to play this, and how, well, you tell me, how do you want to play it?
I mean, if me rolling with her would induce, would if like if there's a way that like that might, I don't know. If I roll, she spreads the information. If the drugs aren't able to move, that wouldn't necessarily stress my relationship with Mama. It would
hmm
stress my relationship with Selvi.
Celavi,
Sorry.
yeah. Yeah, I agree. And you don't have a bond with Celavi, and so it
Yeah,
wouldn't.
I don't.
But there is also well, yeah. So it's kind of, yeah, it's up to you, I guess. So I wouldn't say necessarily like if you do want to go ahead, right? You said like Rick would be true to his word to Celavi, and you would try
Yeah.
to work on this. Okay, so let's play the scene a little bit because I think, yeah. What would you say to Mama?
So like I would, catch her wherever she is at, you know, kind of hopping around because she
Yeah,
has like a leg
with a
issue, right?
crutch. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, Mama, listen. I know that there's a raucous going on outside, but I need you right now.
Ooh.
Uh, Brown chicken. Meow, meow. No. All right.
Amandu gives you a dirty look.
I made a promise to Salavia, our neighbor from downstairs, and I need you to get the word out. She happens to be to possess a lot of Malak, as well as some various other, and I would just kind of list off
Yeah.
the drugs that I would know, and she
Godsmoke and
probably
yep.
would too. Um, and I I need your help with getting your army of little ones to kind of let relevant parties know that they are going to be they are going to need to expect a lot of product very soon. And we're going to need hands on deck to move it around.
I'll see what I can do if we can get enough. I mean, do we think what's going on downstairs is related to that?
At this moment, I have no idea, and I'm definitely gonna go check it out. But I needed to make sure I had this kind of, crossed off on my list, before I do that thing.
She nods and says, "Well, if you're gonna go check it out, maybe you could help though, because I can probably get the kids to come and move some things to protect Celavi. If we need to get things to people, then we put a little bit here and a little bit there. And those kids, they're handy at getting away from the cops, from the
Right? Yeah.
from the guard."
Well, I have obligations later today. But yeah. All right. I'll do. I'm gonna go check on what's going on downstairs, and then we can maybe kind of cross these T's and dot these I's. Once the coast is clear. How is that all right?
Yeah. She kind of gestures at Amandu and says, help me up to the roof. I'm gonna call the kids." And like she's on her way up to the roof where she kind of watches over the street urchins.
All right. Yeah. I guess I kind of feel like this moment right now is not necessarily the role.
Yeah, I agree.
Um. Yeah. So maybe once the kids arrive, like that might be.
Are you going downstairs to figure out what's happening, or are you staying with
Yeah,
Mama?
absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna.
And
I'm gonna
Kelvy?
go chase. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna probably lead the way, as if it's gonna be a fight. I'm guessing I'm going to protect more than you're gonna protect me.
Okay. Yeah, so you two start heading downstairs. You're up higher. I think we said they live on like the 5th floor or something. So you've got a few stories of stairs to climb. So let's cut back down. What is happening with the other
Yeah.
three?
So
Just
when he
hang
does
on.
that to Barnabas,
Yeah.
Barnabas is gonna like step forward again into
Mhm.
his nightstick and say, "I help protect the fine people of this town, and I'd appreciate knowing why you're forcing this door open, friend."
I don't see this building is condemned. These people work for the company that will be demolishing and rebuilding. They have inspections to perform, and if there's something you're hiding in the building, then I guess that's my business as a city guard, isn't it, friend?
We get 7 days.
To leave. There's
Yeah,
and
investigate then. Give these people their time to pack.
to pack up what? Their stolen contraband? Are you trying to tell me that there's something they're hiding from the garden there? And he starts to try and move around you to see into the apartment.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna step in front again.
Okay. You.
Barnabas is losing his cool for sure. Like,
Let's
yeah,
go.
I
Barnabas is
hope
like
Sweet Pea
losing the.
is too.
I gotta
Oh yeah,
check my spells real quick.
um,
Barnabas is 100% like starting to like lose his cool demeanor
uh-huh.
that he often has, you know, because he's cool and calm and collected, and he's starting to like sweat and twitch a little, and he's just like, he's getting real fucking furious.
Okay.
I will step up if I see that and put a hand on your shoulder and be like, friend, we don't need a repeat of what happened last time. They never found that guy. I mean, they gave up looking after like 2 days. They didn't care. He was just a drow peon. He could have just left, but I mean, we don't need that to happen again, right, guard friend?
um this is interesting. Let's get both of you. I think
I mean,
this
I'm
is
happy to fuck some shit up, so, but
Yeah.
I'm also happy to not. So.
Okay. Well, so then let me ask I feel like Minrai's move is definitely an intimidation move. Not a I'm about to
Me and
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Oh, yeah.
I think I will. Let's see what the compel roll is, and yeah. So you get compel, low society. If you have order, then the city guard is part of the order domain.
Do I get to help?
Yeah,
Since I'm,
totally. Yeah.
like, is that an extra die for her?
I thought we should
Yes.
both roll.
No, we're gonna have this be Minrai's roll, but
Yeah, so get an extra die for me too.
yes,
Okay,
Barnabas
so
is definitely helping. So
3d10 because I have low society and that's it.
low society, Barnabas's help, and the base. So yes, 3d10.
Okay, what could go wrong? Hey, a 9.
9. Okay, so that is a full success. So the guard, hearing you talk about someone else who just kind of disappeared and was never found,
Yeah, that happens.
yeah, he like kind of glances around a little bit, looking a bit nervous, especially, Henna's standing there just kind of staring, and the two of you, and like you clearly being a midwife and like this sweet pea, he is definitely looking nervous about all of this. He's like, I don't I don't want to fight. I just want these people, and he gestures to the Harmonious Properties people, to be able to do their jobs and do the inspection. We have, and he pulls out a list. He's like, we have 7 apartments we need to get into. So why don't you just let us do our job? We'll let you do your thing, and everyone can go home to their families tonight.
No.
Please.
And I'm going to look at the people that work for Harmonious Properties, and I'm going to say, like, I have a meeting with Nezade today. How about you let me go do that? You take a break, get yourself a nice lunch. And then I'll talk to your boss and we can see from there.
I hear they have very nice leg of Drow.
Okay.
Some guy went missing and they cut him up or something.
The Harmonious Properties, one of the two kind of grunts, just like throws their hands up in the air and says, Neza is the one who sent us to do these inspections. I don't see what the problem is. Just let us go in, look around the apartments, make sure everything's in order so that we can plan the demolition. It's happening in 6 days, and this is what we do. We inspect buildings, we plan demolitions.
We're not animals. We are allowed to live here for those 6 days, and you cannot just come in and look around our belongings. We don't owe you anything.
Well,
and I spit at their feet.
Okay. Yeah, let's get an intimidation
I'm
from
sorry.
you.
I'm just like, Barnabas is done. Barnabas didn't serve endurance. Like, he doesn't give a fuck about these assholes.
All right, so that is compel, plus low society.
Plus crime. No, I don't know.
Yeah,
Can I assist by, like...
Do you have a relevant...
society.
Does Barnabas have low society?
Yes.
So that's already spoken for.
I also have occult. Can I look mysterious?
Yeah, I don't have compel, so I think it would just be 2.
I have compel either. Damn, I should have gotten compel. That would have been a great skill for me.
Yeah.
Okay, so 2d10?
2d10.
Oh.
6, which is what?
Qualified
A success, but at a cost, I believe. Let me check my little... One day we'll know these things off the top of our head. Success at a cost takes stress. Okay, so let's roll stress. I think this is going to be... This one, I feel like it's a d6 of stress. You are messing
stress
with...
to what?
City Guard, you are messing with people that you're trying to have a relationship with. Well, let's roll it, and let me look at the resistances, and I will decide.
Okay. So you roll? Or
you roll a d6. You roll d6 for the stress. Okay, not bad. And this is going to go against reputation, loss of standing with a social group, and I think that your attempt to have...
I have 5 reputation, so what does that mean?
That means you mark off one of them, and you still have 4 bonus spots on that. So basically you have 0 stress counting towards your actual stress
So do
number.
I mark that little slot, or do I just write down that I have minus
You mark a little
right
slot
now?
because the free slots are those little boxes.
Oh, okay.
And your +5 means you have 5 free slots.
Yeah, no, I'm liked as fuck in low society.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So a very good roll, and that's a double success. Although this is at a cost, right? Success at a cost.
Right.
And so they move away and they say, "We'll make a deal."
Also, wait.
Oh, you go ahead. Yep.
Before, or I guess while that intimidation was happening, can I try and see what apartments are on that list that they were waving around?
Yeah.
The guard list of someone?
Yes, that will be I think it's like sneak or something, right? The relevant skill.
I'm proficient in sneak.
Yes, it will be a sneak and low society.
Okay, I have both of those.
Okay, so 3d10.
I so desperately want to drop a too bad meat's not back on the menu.
Okay, so 7 is the highest, and so that is, I believe, also a success at a cost. Okay, all right. So, and you will roll 1d3 of stress for your 7. So roll a d3. Okay.
Oof.
You are going to take 3 stress to shadow. And the cost of this is that the harmonious property employee clocks you looking at that. Um, so you do successfully get the information. And for the most part, it's hidden, but the harmonious properties guy who hasn't been involved in the conversation yet kind of watches you look. And notices that that happened and doesn't do anything, but that is going to be your cost, is that it was a essentially partially successful. And the
So,
cost, oh,
do,
go ahead.
Do I know that he saw me? And also, I have 1 stress that will count towards Fallout now.
Okay, 1, so we don't need to roll because you can't get Fallout on 1, but next time you take stress, we do need to roll for Fallout. And unless you have other stress, which I don't think you.
No, but I just had 2 armor, so I wanted to
Okay.
let you know.
Armor only takes blood resistance. It does not take shadow.
Oh, no, yeah, no, I had 2
Okay, 2
resistances
bonus.
in
Okay,
shadow.
got it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so you do notice that he saw you, and you do get the
Okay.
information, and I said there's 7, right? Notably, so like this first one on the floor, like it seems to mostly be like ones that would be around beams, like structures of the building that would like hold it up, is what they're essentially trying to assess. But
Okay.
notably 202, which is Celavi and Zet's apartment, is on the list and not consistent with the others as a room that is structurally important.
That's the only one that stands out to me.
Yes, all the rest are what you would expect of like someone actually inspecting a building. The basement
good
is
to know.
also on the list actually. So
That makes
Marguerite's,
sense.
which she was not having it before, and you can assume she would not have it again. Okay,
Can
but
I say that what I'm
yeah.
just what I was trying to work for, and I
Mhm.
don't know if this is obvious, but I can tell you, is I want to convince the harmonious properties people to leave,
Yeah.
and I want to fuck up the guard.
Okay.
But I don't want
That would
them
be
to know about it.
ideal.
Okay.
Like I want it to
Fear
be that
the
like I
guard.
convince them to go, and then I just like
Unleash.
yeah.
Oh my
Okay.
God, I'm so here for it. You have
Um,
no idea.
so you did get success at a cost, intimidating them. So I think the cost of this is basically going to be they kind of they take their things and kind of huff a little bit, and they're like, well, we'll be back tomorrow, and everybody better just let us in. We're going to bring Morgard with us tomorrow. And they turn to leave. I think that the guard would try to just follow them out. Like his business there is kind of their protection. So if you wanted to stop him, you would act. But they go ahead. They're not like waiting for him.
Yeah,
Can we like call him?
I'm like if the guard is starting to leave from me, I'm gonna stand in front of him and put my arm against the wall in front of them and just smile at him.
Okay. All right. Yeah. You do that. You block his path. He's already been.
And I'm gonna use.
Uh-huh.
What am I gonna use? I have a feature called Lay of the Land.
Uh-huh.
So that when I enter a dangerous situation, I can name up to 3 features or opportunities that my allies can take advantage of.
Okay.
So like cover with good view or badly guarded door or something like that. Can I utilize that this time?
Yeah, you can utilize that now. All right.
So I'm gonna say that like the way that the hallway is that he can't get past me, and that the other dude bros that are leaving can't see what's about to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Does that work?
Yeah, that works.
Okay.
By the way, at this point,
I think
Kelvy
you're out
and
of earshot.
well, they're kind of moving out into the city streets, which are alive now, so it's noisy out there. Kelvy and Ulrich would be downstairs by now. This would be because your conversation with Mama did take a little bit of time, so
So yeah, I'm gonna block him if I can.
Okay.
And I'm definitely gonna pull out my hold on, let me maximize this so I can read it. I'm gonna pull out my war cleaver. Which is definitely rusty and covered in blood.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna look at this guard and I'm gonna smile again, and I'm gonna say, "Oh, you don't think you're leaving, do you?"
Ooh, can I sneak up behind him and like gently rest a hand on his shoulder?
Yeah, you sure can. He looks. You've already successfully intimidated this guy. He looks scared. He looks like legitimately scared for his life right now. And he's like, look, I am doing my job. I'm a drow like you. I have to feed my family. I have to.
Don't make me feel bad about this, Elise. I
Ooh,
didn't know it was a drow.
They're all drow.
Right,
That's the big secret. I mean,
I will,
there's obviously Alfir, but you think the Alfir are doing guard work in Derelictus? No.
After hearing about his family, I will rest. I will kind of curl my hand up towards his throat
Uh-huh.
and like feel his vein, and be like, "Yes, family. I know how it feels to have them go hungry."
All right,
You're terrifying.
you've already terrified this man. If you're gonna fuck him up, you've got to start fucking him up, or it's just gonna be more of you guys like saying threatening things.
Just like torturing him. Okay,
Yeah.
But
Can
here's
I like
the thing.
nod?
Mhm.
Oh fuck! I don't know that I would now though.
Mhm.
Like
I totally would.
At least you
Interesting.
did let us know there would be psychological like horror.
Well,
Have
but
you?
I wasn't expecting it on someone else and not us.
Mhm.
I will. So I will pull out my two twin scimitars and try to drive them through his back.
Okay.
damn!
Roll fight.
I am trained in fight.
Okay, so you get your base d6, your
The D6.
or sorry, your base d10 for,
Okay.
and then your plus your skill d10 for fight, plus low society because we are in Derelictus.
That's 3d10.
That's
okay.
3d10.
And because he's scared shitless, do I get a bonus?
No.
Okay. 7.
Okay, so you do inflict stress, so go ahead and roll whatever your weapon stress is.
I don't know what words mean anything.
What do you roll for your weapon?
I have a twin razors, and I don't know what I roll because all I wrote was there.
Let me look
Concealable
at
and unreliable.
midwife.
I think it's D6.
It might be.
It's
Midwife.
Twin razors under equipment.
Twin razors, D6, concealable, unreliable. Okay, so go ahead and roll your D6 for stress. And let's look at what unreliable means.
It means I think that once I rolled a 1.
Okay.
I think it means that once I use them, there's a chance that I don't.
When you fail an action using this equipment, it cannot be used for the remainder of the situation.
Yeah, but I succeeded, right? So.
You did succeed. So that stress goes to his armor. So you drive your twin blades, and 1 stress, his armor is a 2 because he is the city guard. And so you inflict 1 blood to his armor, and he still looks very terrified. But seeing that you have kind of pulled a weapon on him, he is going to deal you.
Oh no, I'm dying.
Everybody's rolling 1s. 1 blood.
Okay, Barnabas is going to attack when this happens.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm getting in too
Barnabas-
if someone got hurt.
Barnabas has decided that
Hang on.
this-
I need to
Oh,
resolve
okay.
with Minrai.
Yeah, go ahead.
I
Did-
have 2 resistance, so I added it to one of my free
Okay,
slots.
perfect. And how much stress do you have total?
Like for blood,
Total stress, not including free slots.
not including free slots.
Free slots are
I
free,
have-
so ignore anything counted to free slots. How much do you have?
Oh, I have 1.
Okay, you are fine then. All right, Barnabas.
So Barnabas at first felt a little sadness when
Mhm.
he mentioned family and that he's a drow, but then his the red mist brain took over again, and he sees him as a class traitor that he would
Yes.
fucking care so little about these people,
Okay,
and he's just gonna fucking take a slice at him with his war cleaver.
go for it.
Oh, I'm so here for
So
it.
I
So you roll
don't have
fight.
fight.
Okay,
So I do have low society though, so that'd be 2.
yes. Do you
Yeah,
have
I have
order?
pursue, crime, and low society, and religion,
Okay.
and sneak.
All right, so yeah, you would roll 2d10.
Okay. I get extra things, but that's later. Sorry.
No, you're
No,
good.
don't give him a name, Ludicrous. We're killing him.
This is
Oh.
Mike. You're killing Mike.
Matt!
No!
Stop it, Matt!
All right.
I'm rolling and it's just slow. Fuck me!
Ooh, that is not good. So Barnabas
No, it's
just
a 1.
rolled.
So it says when you inflict stress.
Mhm.
So that means when I actually have to hit, right? This thing is not doesn't affect these things.
Critical failure, take double stress. So you don't inflict
Okay, so
stress.
I don't inflict stress.
But I'm gonna say that you open yourself up to an attack. Like you don't see that he's essentially got a dagger that he is holding in his other hand. Or well, I guess he had his baton, right? So we'll use the baton.
Sure.
And he like swings it around as he sees you coming for him, and you open yourself up to the attack and take a d6 of damage, and we're gonna double the stress.
Damn.
Yeah,
You gonna
the
kill
critical.
me?
That's the critical fail. Okay. Ooh.
Oh,
Ouch.
you take 10.
Ooh,
You
oh
take
boy.
When I take
10.
stress to blood, I get to take 1 less stress than the result rolled.
Okay.
Because
So
of my
that would be
hyena is
4.
guarding me.
And
So-
then you double 4, so it's technically 2 less, because it's
No.
less than the result rolled, not less than the result doubled.
that is
Huh? Huh?
I love this rules lawyering.
I'm actually semi-compelled by that point because you wouldn't you would take the stress off and then double. So
Stress than the result
Okay.
rolled.
okay.
Oh my god.
My
okay.
Sweet Pea
Listen.
sees it happening, and Sweet Pea moves in, and she's like, "Fuck no!"
Okay. So you take 8 stress. If you have armor, you have any armor?
I do.
You can mark the first however many armor you have.
Armor 2.
So you mark 2 against your armor. Do you have any
Uh,
blood resistance?
I have 2.
So you can mark 2 against the blood resistance.
Okay.
That leaves 6 that you've taken.
So I put that just as total stress down in the total stress thing?
And do you have any other stress right now?
No.
Okay, so now we are going to roll Fallout.
I don't know what this means,
Ooh,
but I'm scared.
that's not good, I think.
Ellie!
No, wait.
Why
Let me
did you kill Barnabas?
let me double check. It might actually not be bad for you. I think it has to be under your total stress, right?
Mhm.
Yes, it does. It has to be lower than the number that you have for stress.
Oh, okay, yeah. So actually, that worked out much better for you than it could have.
That's a much
If the
better
result
answer.
of the D10 is lower, the character suffers fallout. So you actually do not suffer fallout. Hooray! Okay.
So I just took 6 stress?
You took 6 stress to blood from that hit. It was a intense.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
A large attack.
Yes, and 6 stress. Yes, it is to your blood resistance, but that you've already maxed out your thing, so that's what that counts for. Okay.
At what point would Kelvy and I be?
You would be here. I would.
releasing this?
I think you have made it down the stairs. You would see this blow to Barnabas that kind of doubles him over. I do think Hennis has the drop on you guys in terms of action, though. So Hennis.
Can I
Yeah.
shout as like a free action? He's attacking us. We don't
Yeah.
know why.
Yeah. Yeah.
These vicious guards. I'll just scream like the whole combat. Just scream about how the guards are just trying to kill random drow.
Okay.
I love what a fucking drama queen that Minrai is. I love it.
Okay, Hennis. What is Hennis doing?
Hennis is going to take out his god knife and whisper a little prayer to the god in it, and then just try and stab the dude.
Yeah, stab him.
Whoa.
Roll fight. Plus low society.
Yep, I have both of those.
So 3d10. Okay,
six.
6. So, did it? We can.
It came back on. Sorry.
Yeah, it's
ignore me.
on. No, it's on loop, but it's just like the same little like ambient music that's been on the
Oh,
whole
yeah.
time.
Can we have combat music? Not to like over.
I don't have anything prepared for combat music, so
That's
if you
fine.
want to pull it up
Did
on
you
your
just think that we
individual.
would fucking attack this guard?
No, I thought you might get in a fight today. I just didn't have
Okay.
time.
Oh, that's fair.
Okay, so Hennis, you succeed at a cost. So you are going to inflict stress. Go ahead and roll your weapon's stress.
That's 3 from a D3.
Okay. So that goes. He now has 2 blood stress, the guard, because again he had an armor of 2, which had already taken 1. And
And then I'm actually going to use Secret of Second Skin, which is once per situation when you're attacked by an enemy and the GM would roll to inflict stress, you take 1 stress instead.
okay, yeah. So you just take 1 stress here, because we would be rolling stress since you did roll a 6. Okay.
Mhm.
So
So
it's
that
also
goes to my armor.
yes. If you have armor resistance slots available, then you would mark it to your armor.
Okay.
Okay. That would be your turn. You take 1 from the guard throws a punch at your face.
Mhm.
And Ulrich and Kelvy barreling down the stairs.
I think Kelvy's probably ahead of me because they kind of were at the door already when I
Okay.
was getting ready to leave.
Okay, Kelvy.
So does this guard look more pissed off or scared?
Terrified.
Terrified? Great. Um, I am going to approach as if to give him a hug.
Aw,
Hey,
He-
this is my cousin. And then as I get close enough to him, I'm gonna whisper, "Just fucking go with it." And so
Whisper to the guard or
did-
whisper to
to
your
the
friends?
guard?
Okay.
To the
Yeah,
guard.
yeah,
You piss off you piss off the wrong people there. You need to walk outside. You good here?
yeah. Yeah, and he's like, I mean, Barnabas is kind of staggered from this hit, and he's got like this blow to him now that he's taken some damage, and he's like, I just want to go home, man. I just
Can
want
I
to.
talk over him? He just started stabbing us, saying he wanted to kill all of us for no reason.
So this is so Kelvy. What?
Oh, sorry,
It's
go ahead.
it's Kelvy's turn. So I want to know
No,
like
I know,
what.
I was gonna say
I
something.
know,
Sorry.
it's fair, but I want to know what Kelvy is attempting to do here. Are you trying to persuade your friends? Are you trying to get him isolated? What's the kind of play?
I would like to persuade. I don't know if it's gonna be a compel to get him out. Um, I'm essentially, if I'm looking at this long term, I'm trying to set up a temporary bond with him
Okay,
to get it to get in with the guard.
got it. Okay. Then okay, he's definitely as scared as he is. I think this isn't a role. You are a lifeline in a very dangerous situation, and he kind of reaches out to you to hold on to you because he's been hit kind of hard. And is like, yeah, I didn't mean to get in anybody's way. I just want to go home, and like starts to kind of try to move past Barnabas and Hennis, who have kind of fenced him in on the other side. Minrai being behind him. So
Barnabas is gonna smile with bloody teeth and just say, "Yeah, let him go." And he's gonna have a really creepy bloody grin on his face.
okay. Others?
But he's watching.
This is your family. That is. And Hennis will turn away.
I think the broodlings need more food.
Minrai, let him go.
God damn it! Fine.
Okay.
Oh.
So
Barnabas doesn't really want to let him go.
I will.
Barnabas gets refreshed from completing a hunt and taking the query, so I'm like, yeah, let me hunt this fucker down.
I will tink my little blades against the wall, and I will say, "Run, little bacon strand, run!"
Kelvy, are you escorting him out?
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and like support him as best I can because he's a little fucked up and lead him out.
Yeah.
Don't fuck up my hunt, Kelvy.
The second he leaves with Kelby, I'm going to turn to Barnabas and be like, "So are we doing this?"
And I'm just gonna grin back at Minrai and be like, you know it.
Oh my god. Okay, so out of character, are we like straight up hunting this guy down? Because I have some shit for that.
So do I.
Okay. All right. Rein in your enthusiasm for hunting down injured guards for a second, and let's. I love it. I do. But I want to see what Kelvy is up to. So, Kelvy, you are now outside with this injured guard. He doesn't seem he's not happy about being injured and by himself in Derelictus, the Harmonious Properties people having disappeared, presumably gone about their business, not really concerned about him. And he's like, look, I don't know why you stuck your neck out for me in there, but I appreciate it. And you should know that tomorrow they're coming back with more people. It's not going to be just one of us next time. So whatever's going on, whatever you're hiding, I don't know. You people need to get things done today.
I kind of figured that. I was wondering, since I was so gracious as to save your life today, um, if I could possibly get a small favor.
What are you asking?
I'm asking, maybe if it's not too much trouble. Um, I was wondering, should the need arise for, gods like yourself to look the other way, you might remember this kindness.
Um, roll compel. Um, with low society and order if you have order. Yeah.
So I have compel and low society, but not order. So I would roll 2.
3 because you always get a base. So 3d10.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Okay, the critical success, instead of inflicting stress, like, because you're not trying to, like, harm him, I think we can play this as, like, um, he's just, like, had one of the worst experiences of his life, getting cornered in this, by himself in this place and, like, almost beaten to death by a mob. And so, I think instead of inflicting stress, we'll say, he just like completely goes along and he's like, listen, he sticks out his hand for you to shake. I'm so tempted to name him Mike because of chat.
They said they confirmed his name was Hitler. So
His name's
we're in the clear killing him.
his
Gary
name's
Hitler.
not Gary Hitler. I'm sorry. We're going
It was, he said Mike Sorrentino, which is apparently the situation, which is why he named him that.
Hang on. I can do this. I can name a character that I wasn't prepared to name. Andrew, who is the DM of the campaign that Ava and I play in otherwise, is like probably just getting his giggles right now because we do this to him all the time. I specifically do this to you all the time where I'm like, what's your name? So
Gary.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
His name is
once upon
Gary
a
And
time,
Chris has decided his name should be Hitler Sorrentino.
his name is not Hitler. I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen.
Be Adolf Sorrentino?
No. There are suggested names in the book.
Gary Hitler.
We have to respect.
As a Jew, this would make me feel so nice.
No, see, that's one of the fun things about this is you don't get to make these people are people, right? His name's gonna be Rowan, Reyen. I looked it up in the book. I'm sorry that everyone had to deal with all of that.
Down.
I'm writing it down because I want to know what kind of seasonings we're using.
Rowan, he shakes Calvi's hand. And says, listen, my name is Rowan. I'm stationed over, fuck me, and always needing to know names of things that I'm not prepared to know. He says, I'm stationed over at Vorloran Standard. Vorloran Standard is that city guard station that I was telling you is on the other side of Red Row. He's like, listen, a lot of my fellow guards stationed at Vorloran aren't the best people, which is a known fact. This is the place nobody wants to be stationed here. Nobody asks to be stationed here. People who are insubordinate, who have aims above their stations, they get sent here for their careers to die or to be punished, essentially. He's like, and I can't promise anything, but if you find me there, if you find me at Vorloran or anywhere else, I will repay this debt.
I appreciate that. You should probably go tend to those wounds. It was a pretty rusty blade. You might get infected.
He nods and kind of slaps you on the shoulder, as men do. And yeah, and starts kind of making his way up the street, trying to look inconspicuous.
Yeah, Barnabas has been tracking him this whole time.
Okay, yeah. when we
And I
cut back to us, let's see what goes down.
Because you can say what you can say how it plays out and if you think it would work, but with my hyena,
Mhm.
when you hunt down a target that you can see and hear, you do so with mastery.
Okay.
And I have pursue and I have sneak.
I
Yeah.
also have pursue and investigate.
Okay. Are you are you talking to Kelvy at all?
Me?
Yeah.
No,
I mean-
I'm not being noticed. I
We're
mean,
just
I'm trying.
following.
Yeah, I'm following and watching just to keep him in my eye line. I'm not listening to what they're saying. I'm not like I'm literally following and watching so that I can watch where he goes and
Yeah. All
I'm
right.
do some
also
stuff.
following.
Roll.
I mean, like I'm a carrion priest. I'm kind and other stuff, and then I'm not.
No, you are allowed
Like-
to make the choice you're going to make here. You
I am a fierce
roll.
mom.
You can roll pursue to follow him.
Can I assist with that?
He...
I have.
What are you doing to assist?
I mean, I guess just also like tracking, maybe. I don't know. I guess since to be the same thing, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm. So if you had, let's
I
see.
do have investigate.
Yeah, I think investigate counts here. I mean, like following the path. Like technically
So
it's
does that mean
pursue, but like, yeah. Okay, so
Sorry. Did I get 4 then? Because I've got
You're-
base, mastery, pursue, and investigate.
yeah, I mean it would be 4 anyway because you'd have low domain, but you can't roll more than 4. So roll 4.
Oh, I can't? Okay.
No,
I
4 is
didn't
the
know
max
that.
you can
Sorry.
roll on any given roll. No, I know we haven't ever gotten to that point before. So
I'm so fucking good at pursuing. I got a 7 though.
okay, so pursue, and it is success at a cost, and you do take stress. So, let's roll. I think a D3 because you have help, and this is kind of your area of expertise. So let's roll a
Can I
D3.
ask how to roll a D3? Oh,
in
advanced dice roller?
or just in chat, type /R and then space D3, and that'll
Okay,
roll
thank
it.
you.
The stress 2.
3? Oh,
Ooh,
fuck me.
that's painful. This
Is it
stress.
your reputation still?
This stress is going to be to shadow. I think you are risking. You are stalking a city guard, so you are risking kind of your cover as like someone who is just a normal dude, right? A normal carrion priest dude, which is more about shadow than reputation. So you will mark.
But I have my ability, and also you already have a lot of stress, right?
I have 6.
Can
Okay,
you
so then
take stress, or can you take fallout?
Blah blah blah. Once per situation. No wait, martyr. Once per situation, an ally takes. Oh, it's when an ally takes fallout. Yeah.
Okay, so you can mark.
Well, I might, because this will put
Yeah,
me at 9
this
stress.
puts you at 9. So I have to roll a 10 for you to avoid fallout at this point.
Yikes. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, Barnabas is going a bit fucking crazy, so.
Okay.
Nope.
Nope.
Oh.
All right, let's look at the rules. It's our first Fallout, everybody. Okay. Fallout.
That one was okay.
The level of Fallout
Boy.
depends on the amount of total stress the character has when the Fallout was triggered. 9. You had 9?
Yes.
So this is a severe Fallout, which is very bad. However, what's very weird about this is that technically most of your stress is to blood. And I don't think that the action you are taking could cause severe fallout to blood. So
Okay.
what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to this is technically an option in the handbook in case anybody is about to get up in my business, which like none of you know enough about the game anyway to do that.
Yep.
But that's okay. I'm going to instead inflict 2 moderate fallouts.
Oh.
Or yeah, so basically we're gonna do 1 moderate fallout, 2 blood, which is, let me look.
Wait, but could I stop? I mean, okay.
You
so
can step in, but wait for a second because I'm going to let you take 1 of the 2 fallouts.
Yeah, that's fair. That's what I was thinking.
Okay.
Like,
So I think that you are pushing yourself past what your body can take right now.
I am
and
an old cannibal man. so-
because yeah, you have 6 stress to blood right now. And
True
so
story.
I think that you will take a moderate blood fallout, which is going to be um
I don't know what that means.
so you have a broken arm.
Cool.
You push yourself too hard. You took that huge hit to your, we'll say like you kind of blocked it enough with your hand, with your arm, that a lot of the damage went to your arm. And as you
Okay.
pursued, like you were being not careful enough with that injury and took, like turned around a corner too fast, braced yourself against a wall, and just that added impact on the stress or on the already injured limb like snaps your arm. So your
Gotcha.
arm breaks under the strain. You have splintered bone juts up out of your skin. Thanks, handbook. You can't use the arm until it heals, which will take a month or so, or require powerful healing magic.
A month.
Or healing
Jesus.
magic.
What's the second fallout? Because then we can.
The
see what
second
Ava-
fallout is going to be a minor fallout to Shadow, and
Break my arm for you.
Oh wait, do you take the fallout for me?
No, I'm just kidding. I just take.
Oh, I was like, I don't want that.
So the
Sorry.
Shadow fallout is going to be basically like someone is suspicious of you, and that someone is going to be Amandu, who was on his way down from having helped his mother to the roof and saw you take off after this guard who was being helped out and in a peaceful way by Kelvy, and now you are apparently hunting him down, and he notices you.
Yeah. So can you take the broken arm
Um,
fallout? Or is that I don't know how your special thing works.
Okay, so it says you sacrifice your life inch by inch to safeguard the future of the Drow. Once per session, when an ally takes fallout, you appear nearby so long as it would even be slightly feasible for you to do. They ignore the effects of the fallout, and you take d6 stress to an appropriate resistance. So part of me wants to say I appear and like carry you on my shoulders.
Yeah, you like see
saved my
Barnabas
life.
about to fall on his arm, and instead you take you catch him, and the let's roll d6, right? Oh, you can
Yeah.
roll. I don't have to roll. You can.
Would it be to my blood?
This
as
will be
well?
blood, yes, to the appropriate
Okay.
resistance.
There will be blood.
There will be blood.
Fun.
Oh
Hi,
shit!
Rhoda. Bye.
Okay, you take 5. Now, how much is your total stress? Not.
I'm sorry.
My total stress is 4.
Okay, so I need
Wait,
a
that doesn't make any sense. My total stress is
because
okay,
blood
3
can
plus-
also be allotted to
plus-
armor, so you could allot
Yeah.
if you have any armor left.
Well, the total stress counts armor though, right?
No,
or no?
armor is free slots.
Oh, okay, then it would be 4.
Okay, so we need a. Okay, you are safe. No fallout. Okay.
Thank you, Minrai. But I was successful then in my tracking, right?
Yes, you are successful in the tracking. So you are tracking them. Amandu does circle back towards the house or towards 228 boundary, and catches up kind of with the people still in the building, which would be Kelvy, Ulrich, and Hennis. And the two of you take off after this guard. However, it is 9:15, and we said we would play for like 3-ish hours, and
But
that
I
is
have an idea.
write it down and don't forget it, because we have to respect people's time on the East Coast. It is late. So yes, jot down notes, take notes, friends, and figure out what you want to do next.
I just
In
wanna
this,
say, I've been listening to the Darkest Dungeon like combat music soundtrack, and it is the most like I'm like my heart rate's going.
So would it be like it's not Minrai and Barnabas are not coming back to the house right now, are they?
nope, they have
No,
taken
I'm
off through the
under.
streets of
Out on a
Derelictus on a
hunt.
hunt.
All right, have fun.
I mean, like I feel like that's how I planned Barnabas, was that he
Yeah.
is just like the kind, charismatic old grandpa that helps people, but then he's also got bloodlust. So
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde kind
Well,
of thing.
I also like it. One, I need blood for eggs. 2, this person.
Wait,
is
do you
part
mean
of
for
the-
the clutch?
Yes. For eggs. Eggs and
everything's
blood.
for the clutch.
For the
For the
clutch.
clutch. I just don't want anybody to get like alcohol poisoning if they're drinking every time we
Oh.
say that. And also, I think like he could identify us. Like, there's no way I'm letting that go, especially like after they were wanting to come in and do stuff when Marguerite was so against it.
Yeah. All right.
I'm ready.
Let's
We
pause.
can end, yeah.
Yeah, pause table talk, which you guys are welcome to do after we close out the stream. But just a few closing thoughts. Yeah, as I think Rachel reminded me earlier, thanks to those of you who subscribe, smash that like button, all that jazz. And also, don't forget to tune in tomorrow, 7 p.m. for Tier, and on next Wednesday for the next episode of Dom and Dragons, 7 p.m. Mountain Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Anything I'm missing, Sam?
No, that sounds right to me.
All right. Well, thank you again to Helpful Goat Gaming for letting us stream on your channel tonight. And we will see you next Thursday to pick up with this hunt through Derelictus for Rayan, the city guard, and Amandu's confrontation as he begins to see that something more violent might be in the works. And that is it for us, folks.
Bye.
Thank you for watching, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Bye.